You're watching the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at CBGtv.com. The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or CBGtv.com.
Do you like our intro, Sarah? That's as far as we've gotten.
It's fantastic.
It's on the list, right?
Yeah, it's on the list. Yeah. Hi, this is Al, and we got Al, and we got Paul, and we've got our pal Sarah Sunday from the Karma Cup, who was supposed to be here last week, but I don't want to know what happened.
She's driving.
I didn't like her message she sent me.
What message did I send?
I'm a fuck up.
Oh, I said, sorry, I fucked up. I was like, okay, Josh, we're going to see all sorts of stores. We're down in London because Cannabis Wiki was the next day, and I was going to see all the stores. And I'm like, okay, we'll go to the store and we'll remember that we have this thing and we can just sit in the car and do it and then continue on. And then I just got into doing stores, and
happens all the time. It's all right. I knew you'd show up eventually. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How
good.
Are you?
I guess you're buzzy.
Buzzy? What does that mean?
Busy.
Yeah, for sure. It's being poor and having to do most of the work yourself creates busyness.
It creates happiness if it works out.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like, I'm sure everything. I mean, all's well. I'm just saying, I'm busy. I'm doing a lot. So like I'm doing, like, multiple people's jobs.
Yeah. Well, you used to have a whole crew of people.
Yes, when I had more money.
Yeah.
Now, so it is.
And now you're having to make things meet because things have changed. Things are legalized. Let's take a few steps back now and tell us how you started this, why you started this, and for anybody who doesn't know.
Okay, so like we're going like way back in the before times. So 2014, I had entered Marco's Treating Yourself, and I think that was one of the prime years that there were difficulties, we'll say. And I was sort of dissatisfied with like how it was run from the perspective of a grower. I didn't feel like I got very much out of it. You gave them a half a pound of weed, and you wouldn't even know where you scored. Like you wouldn't even know like unless you got 1, 2, 3, top 3, you didn't get any feedback. And I'm like, well, I feel like that's kind of sucks. So I just decided I wanted to do something where we would give that it would benefit the growers a little bit more, and that we would. I mean, like everybody does things in a different way. I don't want to rank on Marco's thing. Marco was amazing doing what he did, Treating Yourself, creating the expo, creating the cup, and all that was really important and foundational to me. So I love all that stuff. It's just everybody wants to do, you get it in your mind. You want to do something different.
There's always room for improvement on whatever we do. And,
exactly.
I was involved in Marco's Cup, and you're right. Other than the top 3.
And as well, there were issues that year. Like, anyway, let's not get into it. We'll just say I wanted to do something differently, and I did. So, here we are.
I gotta say, I've heard people say that about what's going on now with the Karma Cup. So I'm going to try and do it myself. See if I can do it better. Exactly. But I think where we should explain why. I mean, there's some haters out there. The Karma Cup for the community, for the cannabis community in Canada, was a place to go and be with everybody that literally. Okay, the growers, the makers, the concentrate people. We were all there, huddled in a small area at the same time with a fucking lineup that went halfway across Toronto, quite literally in some cases.
Yeah. Down the corner, down the street, around the corner, down the street,
That's
around
right.
the corner. And
that's right.
Yeah, it was
the minute things have to change for whatever reasons, you get haters.
For sure.
You know,
no matter what.
What kind of response are you getting? I know, and I'll be honest, at the first of all of this, Sarah, I was like, I've known Sarah for a long time, and I've watched her grow this cup. It's my favorite time of the year. And I was like, well, times have changed, but that's not Karma Cup to me. The Karma Cup Festival is going out and hanging out with everybody. But then I walked into a store and there's the Karma Cup stuff. And I'm like, I didn't think I could get this stuff up here. So I bought it.
And don't forget, he's half a day's north of Toronto.
And then I went to the store here a couple of weeks ago, and they've got them here in town. So you did pretty good, girl.
Thank you.
Get them out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that I've said that, explain to people in your own words the difference between what's going on now and what happened in the past, because this is not the past. This is the future.
So like in the past, I basically whatever anybody gave me, I threw into the bag, right? Unless it was something that was egregiously bad. So we would end up with like 120 to 104. I think the highest year I ever had was about 150 entries. I think that was maybe 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. So, and it just also depends on how many categories you have, whatever. Anyway, so the categories are we're still having the bud categories. I've got pre-roll. There's still 1 gram samples. There's, instead of, for the OCS, you can't just sort of say, I'm going to have X. You have to sort of lay it out to them. So I had to make a design. And I thought in my mind, how many, legal market's not as good as legacy market, like for real, yet. It's getting better, I have to say. But so, you had to make choices. So I decided let's do a sesh, whittle down the large amount of people that are going to want to enter into a smaller amount of people, 7 per kit.
Yeah.
So there's 7 finalists per kit that we've had a sesh with all sorts of connoisseur types. And they've used our voting system, our judging system, to figure out who the finalists are. So it's the same. It's all the same, except for the fact that the kit is smaller. There's no swag bag. It's cheaper.
Right? That's the key right there. It is cheaper.
And moaned forever. $1,100. So I'm giving you like $1,500, $2,000 worth of product, swag bag, all this other stuff, and you're gonna whine at me about $700. Okay.
You know what?
Now you got your, and they always wind at me. Oh, I don't want to buy this whole thing. I want to just buy one thing. Okay, so now you got it. Now you're gonna wind up with something else.
I've had a full judge's kit, and you know what? I'll tell you, that was 4 or 5 years ago now. And when I moved, Sarah, there was still samples sitting in my fridge.
Yeah, me too.
It was like an amazing deal, and you cannot satisfy these people. They are unsatisfiable, and I refuse to try. They can go fuck themselves, in my opinion.
Well, I look at the 7 gram. You got 7 grams. You got 4 kits. There's your 28 grams, which is 2 grams under the legal limit that anybody can go into the store and purchase the whole kit.
Exactly. And it's it's a reasonable price. It's not, it could be cheaper, but I can't make it cheaper.
It depends. Al paid 60
1 times 7 grams, right?
I paid $67.16 for mine in Thunder Bay at Canna Cabana.
Yep.
And they are $74 here at My Cannabis in Terrace Bay.
And that's what it was here at Sunfish for me here in High.
And Mary Jane said that she's seen them in various stores down in Southern Ontario between $80 and $100.
You can get them cheaper too. Like if you go to Canna Cabana, if you go to One Plant, they have a membership thing. If you were in the One Plant thing, it's quite cheap this month. Yeah. There's all sorts of. If you shop around, there's some places that I walk in there and I'm like, they're selling it for $100, and I'm like, please don't do that. I really don't want them to do that, because then it feels like not a value. I'd like it to feel like a reasonable.
$10 is a gram. Basically, $10 a gram is fair. That's what we've been paying for how long now?
Right?
For quality.
Right.
So, how many actual LPs took part? Can you tell us that?
I'm not actually sure. Like in the original, like when we did the sesh, the like when we narrowed it down to the finalists, there was probably like, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 LPs, something like that.
And
then you whittled it down to 7.
Well, I mean, in each kit, right? And
Yeah,
some
correct.
people maybe entered more than one kit. So.
Yeah,
that must have taken some phone calls and conversations.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's like, again, it was extremely intense. It's like every year I've got. The only difference is I get a ton of entries normally, and if somebody drops out, it doesn't matter. Whereas if somebody drops out, it's a problem. So,
right.
So like, there's a lot more
Promises.
Attention required for everybody. You know, I'm hyped. This whole thing has been arduous for sure, but any new venture, anything you've never done before, is going to be fraught with difficulties and worry and, you know, things happening and whatever. I'm good. I'm happy. I made my choices.
Yeah. Like when you were making that choice and you made the decision, and I can assume that you approached the OCS on this. Like, how did they, like, were they surprised, or did they react negatively, or were they open to suggestions?
They were hyped. They were
hyped,
Oh yeah, they're really into it. They love it. I was at the Divi planting party a week or two ago, and the OCS category reps were there, and I spoke to the concentrate category rep, Irene, and she was really down for she suggested to me that we need to have a concentrate category. So people are like, you know, some, and I won't say all. I have lots of support amongst legacy people too, but some of them are are bitchy, whatever. Most people are very happy. I go into the stores. They're excited. They're excited to have a cannabis competition. They're excited to be able to have their say. They're excited to try the weed. They're excited to do the judging. Like, they're hyped. They're into it. They you know, like, I feel like sometimes we get really myopic and we think that just because we did this one thing this way for a long time, this is the way it's got to be, and this is the right way, and this is the only way. And there's lots of ways to be, you know, like, quite honestly, like, I know nobody's going to like me saying this, but like, you know me, I speak the truth. The legacy market's in its death throes currently. For reals.
Well,
not to say that the recreational market is doing very well either. Also doing terribly bad. So they've both killed each other at this point. People are like, it's not good. It's not a good time to sell weed.
The res market's now in talks with the government, which is going to even kill that, I think.
Well, you know, I spoke to Jack Lloyd. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this, but who gives a shit?
He's always on the shows with us.
Yeah. I spoke to him recently, like at that cannabis wiki for a while, and we were talking about the state of the market, and he has various constitutional cases going for the native groups, and he feels that basically he's gonna win, and that the government, because they're not going to be able to enforce these issues, like, they're not going to be able to do any enforcement. Not that there's any will to do anything either, from what I can see, which is perfectly fine with me. I support people doing civil disobedience, but
no,
he basically said that because the government is not going to be able to enforce, they're going to have a lot of pressure from the regulated industry to decrease regulation, decrease costs, et cetera, because we have a legal industry, and you're basically protecting an illegal industry against the legal industry. That becomes very sticky for them. So maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be less regulation going forward as well. I mean,
none of the reservations up here from Sioux City up have any cannabis on them at all.
Interesting. So it's just very one by the cities that people can get at.
There's LP, an OCS store. We'll call it an OCS store in Fort Williams, which is a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one just outside of Wawa, I think. But it's also a legal store on a reservation, which, they're trying those pilot projects, right?
Interesting.
I suspect up here the reason that they don't have cannabis is because there's reservations every 200 kilometers, if not 50. They're all over the place up here.
Yeah.
I suspect it's because they're all dry, and there is a very bad drug problem up here.
Yeah,
Thunder Bay was at once called the murder capital of Canada.
No way.
Yeah. So there's a lot of homelessness. There's a lot of street drugs and stuff up there, and it's sad. It really is, and I suspect that's why we still don't have cannabis on the reservations up here.
Yeah, they don't want to add to they feel like that would be adding to the problem or something.
They have gas, they have cigarettes. You can go in, you don't pay tax for stuff, but you can't get pot. Well, you can get it. They grow it up here all the time.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of reservations up here. We had, what was her name, Al?
From
the ICC, Tammy.
Okay.
Tammy was on there.
The ICC.
The ICC. From the Indigenous Cannabis Cup. And she was actually even surprised to hear that we don't have cannabis up here. But she was very adamant in saying that every reservation has their own rules, and they're sticklers because they don't want to try anything new. Even though they may allow cannabis on the res, maybe you can grow it, but as far as little pot shops, no.
Interesting.
Now, as you mentioned, when Al started the broadcast and started talking to you, he talked about the lineups of people and things like that. Looking forward, are you looking at having some type of festival again? Like, this is your first year.
I would like to have a festival.
Yeah, I mean, this is your first year switching
my
over.
hope would be that it might be easier to get it done. Like, last year I barely got the festival done. It was pure luck that I found a venue for it that would let us do what we wanted to do. And honestly, that location, great location, but it's not downtown, no foot traffic, no door money, or not as much door money. So it's like not sustainable. There's no money in the industry. They can't afford to pay for booths so that I can create something. So whatever I create is going to be different. I don't know. Would you guys still come if I got LP support and the LPs were there sampling their weed?
Absolutely. I think needs to happen, Sari. We talk
with floods, right?
We talk about that all the time on the 420 show with Lenny, who is the CEO of Truro Cannabis, and he is adamant in being able to do samples to the point where you have, like, now I believe an LP has to go and get a special license so that they can do sampling. In their booth or at their booth or whatever, but who's going to allow you to use it unless it's edibles?
What do you mean? I mean, I don't. Use is not a problem. You're allowed.
There's no place. You can't go and rent the Metro Toronto Convention Center anymore and smoke pot there.
Yeah, but there's lots of. They're doing them right now all the time. Like
I was gonna talk about
rendezvous or whatever they're doing for kind is that rendezvous or whatever that
rendezvous,
parking lot type thing with picnic tables. There's other things going on. The other thing is I'm just not entirely sure, like after COVID, if people really want I just don't know that events are still down 30%. People are still not going. I get that you guys want an event, but I also don't want to go broke. So
I know
I'm not doing this as a public service.
Correct. You asked if we would, would we still go to those type of events? We've covered the Kind Winter and Summer Fair as far as like here on CBG, gone to there. And when people have said to me that they look at this festival as being gone, I looked at it as, well, It's the first year. Give Sarah some time, and there's no reason why something couldn't be set up with the retail stores or whatever, some type of fair event. Still have music. It wouldn't be the legacy market in the booths. It would be the legal market that would be in the booths. And maybe, like Al says, eventually the sample end would come in.
I think that if they opened their eyes up a little bit and allowed a little bit of everybody to attend these things and hold these things, like a swap meet. I've been to events over the past years, including the Karma Cup, where you have had legal entities sponsoring the event. You can't do that anymore. You can't get away with that anymore. Although, Cannabis Corp has tried, and look what's happening to them.
You can't. Everybody's looking to. There's no money left to do any of this stuff. The brands, everybody's moving. Like, I know so many people that are getting licensed right now that were former winners of Karma Cup or competitors or people that were involved with it. So it's just like, I get that everybody wants things to stay the same, but they're not going to stay the same. So we got to roll with reality here. And there's another issue too, is like, were we not fighting for legalization? Was that not one of the things we were trying to do? So in it, not what we wanted, but we were fucking stupid to ever think it was going to be what we wanted, because it's always going to be controlled by government cronies and corporations and stuff, like people that have influence and power, that we're always going to have to fight for every little piece that we want.
Yeah. When prohibition of alcohol ended, we didn't have bars and all that stuff.
Yes. They were just hidden.
Nightclubs didn't open up. Like, Christ, when I moved to Campbellford, we still had to write the liquor we wanted on a piece of paper and give it to the person at the counter.
Yep.
So Naomi just texted me and said Gary Pallister died.
Yes.
Oh my God, so sad. I just really, there's so many, like, I wish, you have no idea how much, if we could have stayed in 2018 and just done that year over and over and over again, I would run you a festival and a cup forever, doing that same, like, I was making money, I was happy. It was a giant pain in the ass, but whatever, that was what I signed up for. But we're not. We're in 2023. Stuff's shitty. Life is fucking crazy. The market is the entire industry is in the toilet everywhere. Like, not just here in the States, everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have to adapt. I guess I could continue. It felt like when I'm talking to people, old school people, it feels like they want me to be the last one to cross over. And
but that's not fair for you. I don't think that's fair for you. I think that you built this. It's your monster, and you can do whatever the fuck you want with it, quite frankly.
Yeah. And this will ensure its continuality. Whereas going the other way, there's no guarantee. Whereas
exactly. They're not just
got room to grow.
Would I like to be able to sit around and listen to tunes with people I've known for a dozen years? Yes.
So
would I be willing to do that in the LP market, in the legal market?
Yeah.
If it was entertaining enough for me, yes.
Okay, so I have another question. I've been toying with the idea of doing a 1 day / evening sort of thing somewhere smallish, maybe OPP, because I can get it for a good price. And people enter, bring their weed, hand it out to the judges themselves. I don't touch it. Nobody's paying me. There's no trafficking going on. It's perfectly fine, right? And we use the judging platform. We judge. We come up with some winners. So to make that work out, there'd have to either be an entry fee and or some type of fee for every person that comes in, like a ticket or something, because obviously rent things, people are going to have to do things. Work is going to be involved, and I cannot afford to do it for free. I'm sorry.
It'd be a 1 day cup.
Yeah, like a sesh, like we all hang out, fucking smoke the fucking weed, do the dabs, whatever. I'm going to have to figure out something for the edibles, because those people are like, you've abandoned the edibles, people. I'm like, no one bought the kit for the edibles. No offense, but I once did a poll online to I was thinking, okay, can I divide them up into categories? Is that possible? Who will buy what? And I'm like, okay, would you buy a concentrate kit, an edible kit, or a weed kit? And not one person said I would buy an edible kit. Not one person.
Wow.
So I get where they're coming from, but
crazy.
I got to go with what the market is going to.
Well, yeah.
Mostly because I just I'm not rich enough to do otherwise.
You know, I'm probably a good example. I've never bought, like, I've gone into the stores. I've bought Remo's pre-rolled joints, the supercharged joints, which are very good, and you know, a few other things. But I never bought any buds before until I bought this kit.
Thank you, Al. I'm actually very touched. Thank you.
It was, you know, I've got buds. I don't need buds. I'm going to the stores and buying things that I don't have access to usually, and so this is my first buds.
Well, and that brings to point, Sarah. I mean, Al and I have been doing this shit for many years, and we've had conversations, the same kind of conversations through legalization, and it's like, at the beginning, we're like, oh no, I'm never going to go into an LP. Fuck that shit. I'm not going to buy from fucking OCS. I've been looking on OCS for seeds. I buy at the store all the time in town. I go in and check out all the stores. I enjoy going to Canna Cabana because you get a good price for different selections that you can get anywhere, but it's cheaper. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
Called a data deal. The LP. Money.
Yeah, I never went into a store for 3 years. Then I got a call from a guy looking for some Treating Yourself magazines for his opening of his store, and I went, "Wow, I gotta go in one of those now." And you know, other people like you commented, you know, we did this to fight for legalization. This legalization is not here, and I had people say the same thing to me, and leading up to going in, and you know, magazines. I gotta get that out.
Yeah, clones are better than seeds, as one of our Facebook users has said. But you can't get. I can't get clones up here.
You want to get a weird virus for sure. You want to get mites. You want to get some mildew. You want to get some fantastic pests. Go for them clones.
This is my first year, Sarah, growing from seed. I've never done it before, and I'm not enjoying it.
Why?
Because I'm sitting there waiting for balls to drop, and I'm not enjoying waiting. I'm like,
grow some feminized seeds then. If you're not keeping metal.
Well, you know, I got what I got this year, and next year.
You don't have to actually wait for the balls to drop. If you send me pictures of the brack, I'll tell you right on pre-flower whether it's a male or female. You don't even have to put it in 12.
Okay. I did all. I have a little microscope thingy for
you can tell right away because it hangs down. It almost looks like a ball, like the start of something. Instead of going up like a little hair, it goes down.
Well, that's a good thing because everything's going up so far.
Okay, well, you're probably fine. But I mean, there's the other thing is it takes a certain number of weeks to actually show set to get to sexual maturity and show set.
And then it's also up here, like it's just like it's 37 degrees in my greenhouse, but only 19 out there, and it was 11 earlier. This morning it was like 8, and it was like 11 in the greenhouse. I've got the arm. I'm still trying to calibrate the arm so it opens right on the window. So we'll see. Yep.
Are there things that you've learned in, you know, the switch over, the transition into this year that you know, next year you'd look at that? Yeah, okay.
A list. Got a list.
A list.
Got a huge list of things I'd like to either do differently or tweak or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Learn a lot. I mean, there's so many things going on, and it's I have slightly less control than I normally do. Like normally I'm literally, the shit goes to my post office box. I pick it up. Or either that or I get somebody. The whole thing is I'm there when everything's packaged. Everything, I'm controlling it. And I learned needed to be done over years of making mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So this is the same process. We're learning what needs to be done to do it. And it shall be better. And in nothing else, because there's so many people getting licensed now that are old school people that know how to grow weed really good.
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of hyped for next time because like the weed will be even better.
What about an all medical patient swap kind of thing?
Well, you mean, well, they could do that at my 1-day event, possibly. I mean,
Well, if you're licensed, you can carry what you want, and you can share. And
you mean, okay, so what you mean, like have an event, and we'll call it medical patients smoke and swap or something like that, and then medical or 4-plant, because we can do 4 plants, that's legal, right? So 4-plant or medical swap and sesh, and everybody comes out to perhaps OPP because again, I know them and they'll give me a good price and let me smoke there. With that, I mean, like, it has to. I mean, if I charge,
it has to sell, or it has to sell tickets at the door.
I mean, yeah, somehow there has to be kind of
Yeah.
something that has to
And
happen.
the big draw about past Karma Cups is the fact that you can go and touch base with 100 or some more vendors from different walks of life and different parts.
No matter what, now,
yeah,
I mean, you are, but the people are smaller and the brands are smaller, and what they're selling.
But those events are still going on.
I mean, they are, and I'm happy they are. I support all of those events. I mean, I totally support the whole thing. I support both sides. Like, I support cannabis. That's what I support is cannabis. In teams. Everybody wants
free markets.
Why do I need to pick a team? I just want to consume cannabis, enjoy cannabis, and spread the love. Spread the wisdom that all this knowledge that we've gotten over the years. To a new generation. That's another thing. Here we are. There's all these young kids that are into cannabis now through the stores. Like, not young kids. When I say that, I'm 46, like 20-year-olds and stuff like that. I'm not saying underage. I'm just saying of age. There's people of age that have never had dealers before. They're going to the stores. These are their first opportunity to experience cannabis culture. Why not bring in a little bit of the old school culture and try to revive that?
Exactly. Because they don't have any control of that side of things.
And I go to the stores and they're so hyped. Oh, we can be involved in Cannabis Cup. Sometimes they've never even heard of High Times Cannabis Cup, guys. So we have a job to do here, and that is to like integrate and overgrow. And like, we have all this talent and knowledge. We just got to stop being stick in the mud. There's a million places where you can stick yourself in to this new system.
You know what? We saw you at the GMM in Toronto. We were there. Al was there. I was in his pocket.
I was there. Anybody could have come and yelled at me in person had they wished.
Yeah. We were trying to catch up to you, but you walked very quickly. There's a guy with a mic. Run! One of the things that I saw, 2 things happening that day. Okay? One, we went from 25,000 participants to 100 and some.
Yep.
The other thing I saw, which was very disappointing, but we were there, and the people that that wanted to be there were there. Things are different. The other thing that I saw was it was the same day that our prince went to a king, and they had the other half of Queen's Park blocked off. Cops. It was busy down there. But what I saw that amused me was when that stopped, people were filtering into where the cannabis people had set up, asking questions, looking at plants, buying treats. It was very interesting to see a totally different demographic walking through. That used to happen in front of the the Metro Toronto Convention Center. We'd all be standing outside having our buds, and people just walking by back and forth. A lot of snide remarks, but
I saw when at the GMM, I saw a lot of the old legacy people, like the old school people who've been around doing this for years. And for the amount of people there, we didn't even need half the circle, but it's a start of something new. Who knows? I know there's people that are interested in trying to promote it for next year. So,
and that's what these new events lift Kind. All of these new events are bringing a different demographic. I'm not used to that demographic because for me, what I tell people is, what was it like? What was Lyft like? Your auto show?
Well,
That's that's what it was.
I was talking with someone and they told me that it was the original cannabis event, and
Yes, I heard that.
and I didn't say anything, but I did say something.
Treating yourself was the original cannabis.
I did say something afterwards, and I forwarded the links on to one of the staff people.
I think it's different for geographics. Like for me, the most notable cannabis events, there's one in Oregon called the Oregon Country Fair that is completely mind-boggling. And people accidentally go to it, and they're like, like a whole bus full of Japanese tourists will show up at this thing that is a raging ganja hippie, naked hippies running around everywhere in the woods, right?
I want to go to Spanibus.
Yeah, me too.
That's the best one.
Is it? Have you been?
Yeah, I've been many times.
Yeah.
High Times bought it though, right?
Did they? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
I think
high time Spanibus now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
the first one after COVID was their first one.
Yeah. I mean, they did one last year. Last year was the first, they did one last year, I think, 22, which I didn't go to. The last one I went to was 20. I was there when it got shut down. I was in the city. Like that was when they shut us down for COVID.
That was the first High Times one. Yeah.
No, that was not the first High Times one.
Oh, okay.
No, that was the last real Spanibus. They probably lost a bunch of money and had to go fucking get money from somebody. Because that's the peril of running an event. If something happens like that, you're absolutely screwed because you've got hundreds of thousands probably out to deposit and no way and unlikely to get cancellation insurance for that kind of event. So literally they probably went in the hole like €250,000, €500,000 minimum.
Sheesh.
That big of event, probably €1 million. Like it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to run an event unless I know I'm gonna like make money, or at least like the amount of effort that it's required to run an event, people bitching and complaining, everybody's got something to say.
So
You got to throw in the authorities on your ass as well.
That was the illegal part, right? But the authorities they didn't care. They were the least of it. They would come every year and tell me to keep the line orderly and whatever.
Yeah.
And like cops did not give a shit. The issue was always finding a space, 90%.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to have an open air drug market on their property. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, not even parking lots.
Not even parking lots. No, they're afraid because they want to build a condo there, so they don't want to piss anybody off.
But you know what? That year that you had to scramble, you pulled that off big time twice. The first day in the parking lot, at the one parking lot, the big one was huge, and then Al and I sat up top, and we watched everybody leaving. And everybody packing up. I walked past you, and your face just had a horror on it. Nobody knew what was going on, and then all of a sudden, we're moving back to the old site, and you pulled that day off too.
I was crazy. Yeah, that was like the best day ever, literally in my entire life. I was standing in the ticket booth taking money, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the best day ever!" Oh. And then all of a sudden, literally 2 seconds later, I get a call from the landlord. You got to shut it down. I'm like,
yeah.
So, like in my opinion, I've paid my dues. I've contributed a lot to the community and everybody, and they need to give me a break. And if they don't want to, they can fuck right off.
Well, like I said, you built it. You can do what you want with it. What are your alternatives? You can keep trying and keep it going, or you can shut it down. Those are the two choices.
And that's another thing. One of my big fans, who's now an anti-fan, who's being very cunty. I told that person, I'm not gonna. I told that person in 2019 I was thinking that would be my last Karma Cup because it was just too much aggravation. It was too hard to find a venue. It was like I was kind of over it. And I said to her, I think this is gonna be the last one, blah, blah, blah. And so she knew that. Sorry, this person knew that, and they were fine with it. There was no bitching and moaning. They're like, okay, that's your choice. But now that it's still happening, but it's in another arena. Now I'm the devil.
Yeah.
We've
been seeing the comments. Well, there were a few comments that showed up in posts that we were doing judging. You know, I mean, I've had a lot of guests that have been regulars on my show, on the 420 show, that won't come on because I have a CEO of an LP as one of my participants every week.
I mean, if they want to go and sink into the I guess I don't know. Like, you make your choices.
That's right.
But you need to demonize. I don't demonize people for their choices. I never, the whole way through this, I never said, okay, like, as we've gone through, many people we know have bought stores or started stores. They've started.
I'm glad I didn't. I almost did.
At LPs.
Yep.
And I've never been like, oh, you're a traitor, you're any of these things, because I know people have to make individual choices for their situation and their families. Yep. And it's you're not paying my bills, so you can't make these decisions for me. And I get that people want things to stay the same, but they're never gonna. I mean, like, I feel bad, but I just don't know. I just don't think I could have afforded to do the festival again this year. Like, I just didn't have the money. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If things were different, if COVID wasn't,
if I had had 2 years of COVID, which a lot of my detractors also supported, like you guys, I mean, you wanted to shut down the world. Well, there's consequences.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not support any of that, as you guys know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you know, they say it's over, but
I mean, it's over if you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't really anything to.
Yeah, I like around here. The only signs I really see anything of it is when I go to my medical appointments.
Do they still make you wear a mask?
Yeah,
you have to wear a mask in the hospital.
Yeah, that's it.
No, they stopped that just recently in Ontario.
Oh, okay, did they? All right.
Just tell them no, and just don't wear it. I found if I just don't wear it, they like nobody even cares anymore. They just don't care.
Yeah.
When I know there's something going on in town, COVID related, you see the ladies at the convenience stores and the grocery store wearing masks. That's when you know there's been something.
That Paw Patrol mask works.
Yep. Yeah, because they were.
I mean, it's hard to. It's a comedy of errors on the soft brains. Like, come on.
You know what? At the beginning of COVID, I smashed my shoulder. Oh. I was in and out of Sunnybrook weekly for about 8 months. Okay. Mask on. I got the swab done when they had just set it up.
Oh no. So right up the brain.
Right up the brain. It felt like I had jumped in a pool and gotten my nose full of water. That's the sensation I had. I had surgery. And then in and out of the fracture clinic, like every month. X-rays. We're how many years into this now? 2.5 years now since it all started.
I mean, we're over that.
Yeah. I was told to get a shot by my doctor because of my weight, diabetes, health, blah, 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 blah. Didn't. I'm sure I've had it. I'm sure everybody's had it. I'm still here. I'm still alive. And I'm having more trouble breathing because of the fires that are going on up here now than anything.
Right.
So, you know, I know I won't mention names, but I know a lot of people who got shots who now have ventilation issues, we'll say. My friend's wife has cancer.
Oh.
They forced both of them to have shots before they would give her an experimental drug.
Oh my God!
If they and it literally, if they say you have to go back for more shots, or you don't get to keep going, that will be how it is.
Fantastic! I love this medical care system
Yep.
we've got. See, I had the experience with the American medical care system, and I mean, certainly you have to pay money, but I could go get care anytime I wanted. I wasn't waiting around, and I had an issue happen that I spent quite a bit of money getting care for, but I got immediate care. I got a diagnosis in a few months. Normally it takes people years and years to get to a diagnosis with this thing that I had. So I'm now trying to wait for a specialist here in Ontario, and it's going to be like 6 to 9 months. So let's hope it doesn't flare up again. Like if it does, I'm going to go to Buffalo. I'll find a doctor in Detroit or Buffalo, and I'll just go there.
People used to go for the dentist down in Buffalo. I saw an article go by on Facebook that fuck, I lost it.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Al.
Yes.
Okay, one of like I'm gonna say probably right from the beginning of legalization, one of the biggest issues has been the packaging and the amount of packaging.
I dislike it very much.
Excessive for sure.
And I didn't want a bag that big. I sent them the spec for the old bag that we always used because I'm like, this is what always worked. Let's do the same exact thing. And they literally did whatever the fuck they wanted. So it's like I supposedly had approvals, but did it matter?
Yeah. Well, it's
it sounds to me that once the paperwork was signed, they took over.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
There's certain aspects to the situation that I can't control. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I told them what I wanted, but then they just went and did that anyway with the bag.
No.
I don't know what
I'm assuming you can still get. You're still because like you said, you
own
still have
brands.
control. You can
I'm under contract until the end of the year. So.
Oh yeah, and it'd be I just one of the things I noticed as well was that. But as far as doing the color coding and everything, that's all.
So that's another issue. That's another reason. Like I would rather just say sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, like I always did, right? But the regulations, the Health Canada regulations on the packaging say that the interior packaging can't have anything on it, any writing on it, any printing.
But there was the color, but with the color thing, there was a discrepancy. The red looked like a pink.
I said the same thing to the fucking LP. I'm like, who the fuck picked these colors for these things? Because it's not even close to a red. Now you'll just fortunately on the judging thing it says red number 1, blah blah blah.
Correct.
So it's figured out. And anybody I had a couple people message me about that, and I should have showed them. Like one guy was colorblind. And I helped him figure it out.
Yeah, we had a discussion. We had a discussion on the last show about on the to be able to tell whether it was orange or red. Yeah,
I would use different colors next time too. Like to me, I don't know if they're gonna like it or not, and they're gonna have to like it. But I'm gonna literally live at the LP next time while the packaging, while all that stuff's going on. I'm just going to be there every single day. You're going to have to make an office for me. I'm going to sit in the packaging room with the fucking net on my head and whatever. And I'm just going to watch them do it because I don't trust anyone anymore.
I honestly thought that's what you were doing.
I couldn't, they wouldn't, I didn't know I needed to. I thought I had some degree of trust.
Yeah.
The other thing, I was in Florida, so that was another issue. So now I'm back annoyingly.
Sarah, is there any LP's name that you can recall that's in the cup that we would recognize?
I can't tell you, but yes, 100%. There's lots of names that you'll recognize.
Trying to go for the scoop.
Had to try, Al.
Well,
and some micros too, little guys that you wouldn't recognize. So
I work for one. I'm just wondering if we in it.
Which one do you work for?
Well, our stuff goes to Carmel.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't say anything.
Oh, okay.
And neither can Paul.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
I can
Now,
say whatever I want.
when it comes to, because as I said, I had never bought any buds before. I'm doing this. They're blind. Obviously, I don't know who they are. Afterwards, can I go back to the judging thing? I guess I should ask first. Will everybody be revealed afterwards? Which was something that we discussed at the beginning of the show. As far as
Yes.
we'll be able to go back to our judging kits and say, okay, we found out that green won. So I'm going to go back. Can I go back to the website and look up the information that how I evaluated green? Yeah. Okay,
Yes. Yes. And I'm working on some enhancements to the web thing as well in the future. I'm not sure whether it'll happen this time or whether it'll be the next time, but we've learned a bunch of things. So we'll enhance the system and make it more friendly for the users next time too.
Right.
So yes, you will get everything will be revealed just like it always was with the scores and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When's the closing date?
July 31st is the last date for voting. But we're doing the awards ceremony in September, and I don't know. I got this idea and I'm not 100% sure on it, but I think that I'm going to release who's in it and which one they go for, but not the actual standings at the end of judging. And then we can promote the brands, the finalists that were in it. They can get some more traffic. They can help. They can get the ROI, like they can get some return on their investment in terms of getting promotion and getting eyeballs on stuff. And
yeah,
then
I think it's important for him to get the whole thing out there in the public as soon as possible.
Hey,
I mean, even if you created a fan base online voting system that could be revealed, that would generate huge numbers probably, and it would show up in body count at stores to get products to try.
Well, I will reveal everything but the actual standings. So like not the 1, 2, 3, 4, like not that.
Who's in it?
Yeah, just who's in it and what's what. And then there's about 6 weeks there that we can finish the sell through. People will know what's in the kit by then.
But I was just going to ask you about that. What happens on the 31st if there's still 100,000 units to sell?
There's not 100,000 units,
Of course, but
yeah, they'll still
they're going to still sell them just as a novelty.
The store is going to want to make money off of it. I'm not putting it back. I think that there's some value afterwards. Some people don't want a surprise. They want to know what's in it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I like the idea because I like myself. It's something that I would use, just like I used Remo's supercharged joints because I knew Remo and went into a few stores, and then finally one of them offered to buy me bring it in for me. And next thing you knew, last I talked to him, he had sold half a dozen boxes of them.
That's awesome.
And what he did is he turned around and told people about the Remo story. As far as
what is this Remo you were speaking of, Al?
Question: do you think Remo gets the gears because he went legal and created a legal joint, or am I the only one that's getting the gears? Out of curiosity,
I don't know.
Ask him
because I don't hear. I don't know. I don't
hear
other people going legal that I'm getting right now. Like they took my Instagram down. They went and mass reported, and not just that, they took down like. That week, I had shared all sorts of stores that were selling it, and they went and massive.
They took that
accounts too.
They took you down last year too.
They at the day of the festival, they took it down. So there's no love lost for most of these people right now between me and them. Like personally, like they don't like me, I don't like them.
Oh, so you think that? So it's okay. People, yeah.
I mean, the people that are doing this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the entire community or whatever. I'm just saying there's some seriously salty trash bags out there that I don't know. They're really resentful. They didn't like me before. They hated me before and they hate me now. It's no different.
You never make some people happy.
Anyway,
like you said, there's no. Just be yourself.
You can't. There's just you can't.
No.
Life is too short. I'm getting old. I don't have any more patience for people.
Can't just.
I mean,
sit-
and you know what though? This has been an awesome experience. I go to the stores and like they're excited people. They're happy. There's so many nice people that work in these stores. Fantastic people that like they love cannabis. I'm like, what's wrong with that? I don't understand what's so wrong with it. You know, there's tons of people that own these stores that are old school. Like, I run into them all the time. Brittany
There are.
and right? Like they have stores. There's
Yep.
there's lots of people that we know have stores. It's
Yeah.
not government weed.
No.
It's weed grown by people who grow weed, some of who are old school people.
Yep. I almost I
Emo.
looked into opening up a shop, and I talked to Jack, and I talked to Paula, and I talked to you, and I talked to this person and that person, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. I mean,
Jack said to me, don't do it in the city. If you're going to do it in a small town.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a small town that I lived in for years. They had 3 stores, and then all of a sudden they had 2, and the one store just won an award from the BIA type thing that's in the town, and they just held some event at the community park at the main park in town at the bridge, and they were able to raise something like $1,500 towards equipment at the local hospital. But yet
That's
there was people when they were setting up business in town who didn't want any cannabis stores, and here's the cannabis stores contributing to the community.
right. So it's like,
Ontario's had a lot of firsts in that regards. Like we had the first, what was it? The Bong Spiel, the first cannabis curling event up
Yes.
in Wyerton at the Wyerton Curling Club.
I remember that.
Yeah, we're going to
I
have that
remember
guy on, Ted Radcliffe, that started it with a guy named Grant Nicholson. I mean, that's hilarious, and it's sold out really quick, and every year it makes money for the club. You know, it's
Yeah,
I hear you.
I hear you exactly. All right, Sarah. Is there anything that you'd like to bring up or discuss about the cup that we haven't gone over?
So if anybody has any thoughts on future events or whatever and wants to throw them at me, go right ahead. Ideas, whatever, go right ahead. Or the website, thekarmacup.com. There's info about everything. There's a page where to buy it if you want to buy. It's an experiential thing. I think it's fun. I think it's good for the brands. We're going to do the same thing that we did like at the start of the Cup 2014. No offense, but the weed sucked. It got better every single year. Competition helps. Friendly competition helps. It helped brands. People made money off of it. They were able to differentiate themselves from the competition, and like in an area that you can't advertise properly, there's all these things you can't do.
Yes.
It enables you to do those things. I also came up with an idea. I'm doing the Karma Cup quality mark. So it's like a little thing that says Karma Cup winner, first place 2023, second place, third place, finalist. So they can put that on their marketing and advertising and use that to differentiate themselves from other people. Like it helps the customers in the store. There's all sorts of new people that only think about THC percentage. Now they can do the whole evaluation. They can understand how you actually grade weed in a holistic manner. It's not just about THC is not even on my list of things to think about. You know, there's a lot of positive and good things that can come out of this. And I know that the overwhelming amount of people are supporting what I'm doing. It's just there's a couple vocal assholes that are making noise, or not even making noise. They're just busy reporting my account and stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody has haters, and you know, I mean, to lose an Instagram account or a Facebook account, it really doesn't take that much, other than half a dozen complaints, literally. And if you can muster up a half a dozen people to say, hey, go rag on this person, go, and they do collectively. Yeah. So, and is it fair? No. Does it happen a lot? Yes. You know,
Yeah.
I get strikes all the time. All it takes
Let's not dwell on it. Let's not dwell on it. My
you know what? One thing legalization on the Karma Cup has brought out, and that is the testing results of the strengths of the product.
That's one.
That's something that's that you've done, and just because it's the strongest, it doesn't mean it's the one that always becomes the favorite.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I've been familiar with a lot of lower percentage THCs lately. Sarah, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks, guys.
Nice meeting you, Sarah.
Moaning. Hopefully,
thanks for being with us.
It's fine. When we get closer, come and say hi again, and let's see what's happening then.
Always happy to talk to you guys. I love you guys.
I hope you guys you're gonna have some concentrates. Yep, Paul too. Yeah, he's the newbie. He's in training.
We've got some judging to do now. We've got to go.
You're gonna get all judgmental, huh?
Time to get judgy.
Yeah, that's right. These are the last two. I got the grinder here and everything.
Awesome. I'm glad you're having a good time and you're doing it. And I really thank you guys for the support. And I just want to move forward positively and improve and just spread positivity of the plant. There's no need to, let us be happy. We're
leave us alone.
Celebrate that fact and continue on.
We look forward to whatever happens in September and next year as well.
And please let us know if CBG can be a part of anything that you're doing, because
you guys are always welcome. You don't even need to ask. Just let me know. I'll send you the media passes or whatever. Bring in at the door. I love you all.
You have a great night.
Okay.
See you later, Sarah. Bye.
Bye, Sarah.
We're going to take a break and run a bud break and some commercials. And we've been chatting with Sarah Sunday, the founder of the Karma Cup, or one of the founders of the Karma Cup. There's been a lot of people involved over the years. This is the 3 Hi Guys. We'll be right back.
Harlequin is an ultra-diverse combo hybrid that is brimming with all sorts of superpowers. Boasting a really high CBD level, around 1 to 15%, which is a clear indicator of its medicinal abilities. It is also why this strain is a favorite among doctors who are looking to prescribe something potent for the fight against chronic pain. Cherry OG is appealing to users with a strong sweet tooth. It is cherry-flavored with hints of ripe strawberries and a subtle tinge of sour diesel that entices the palate. But that is not all. The potent strain contains THC levels between 19% to 22% and is a perfectly balanced hybrid with equal parts sativa and indica.
White Sumo, a rare slightly sativa-dominant hybrid strain. 60% sativa, 40% indica, created through crossing the classic Sumo target with white OG strains.
Banana Mac, also known as Banana Miracle Alien Cookies, is a slightly indica-dominant hybrid strain 60% indica and 40% sativa, created by crossing the delicious Banana Kush with Miracle Alien Cookie strains.
Is 420 camping your thing? Do you like cannabis cups? Want to learn more about cannabis? Enjoy music festivals? Living on the East Coast or looking for a really good reason to visit? Then Harvest Fest is calling your name.
Join us the weekend of July 14th to 16th at Fox Mountain Camping Park in the Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia, to meet like-minded people, have your cannabis questions answered, listen to great bands, and have a blast.
Service lots available and camping is included in festival admission. $60 for the weekend, or $30 for Friday and $40 for Saturday. Food trucks, hot showers, flush toilets, and accessible washrooms. Rolling contest sponsored by Canadian Lumber Limited, with chances to win a case of rolling papers and more throughout the weekend.
For info about attending or vending, email chair@mumm.ca. Hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there.
That sounds incredible. The Annapolis Valley has an amazing amount of topsoil of super high quality.
So I really enjoy just chatting with Sarah, not just saying hi at the events, because she's got a lot to say. She's been at the forefront of the community with a lot of the people that help build the community in Canada. So, there's a lot of other people out there that are things, but the Karma Cup.
Yeah, it was like you say, it was great to talk to her and to know, that this is continue and it's going to. I got the impression it was going to grow. There's no doubt about that.
Like the first one, the first festival, it'll grow. Like she said, didn't do very well the first one.
This is the 2014 in the recreational market.
Yeah,
because it was in the medical and medical judging and stuff in the early stages, and had a lot of medical questions involved in it. And this thing, I don't see all those medical questions is in the past, but there is the one question on it. So I've got 2 strains I got to open up.
Go for it.
Open those
I
suckers
didn't save any because I ran out while I was waiting for some to come in.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I know. That's the tough part. I got to find the right tab. Okay, I've got orange.
That's what I have right here. I'm gonna have this one too, but it's not what was in the package.
Are you getting 2 joints per sample?
I did.
Yeah,
until I started using my 1 1/4 papers.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm having right now. I'm having some red Lebanese hash with on some red Panama bud.
Okay.
So where'd you get the Panama red?
BC Bud Express.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Do they sell seeds for it?
No. They're an online dispensary out of BC where apparently it's legal. So,
there you go.
Or quasi legal. Are you voting, Al?
Yes, I'm going to judge this.
Go ahead.
I've done all the other judging live on air, so I thought, well, why stop here? I think this is actually our 3rd broadcast, 3rd or 4th broadcast between us. Uh-oh.
I was busy. I set everything up to paint my room the other day, and then I was just about to open the can, and I looked at my little weather station here, and it's fucking 87% humidity in this fucking house.
It's like
rain.
Yeah.
It's been raining for the last couple of days. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I got into it. These I don't recall a fight like this with the other packages.
Oh, I just threw a stem into my drink. Fucking high guy.
Oh, a little extra flavoring. Cannabis mojito, or what is it?
I had some mushrooms ground up, and I didn't have any caps, so I have a little spoon that I use. Right? A little spoon, and I sneezed as I was putting it in my mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay. I got in there.
Some of them are hard to open.
Orange.
That's why they invented teenagers. They can open anything that's drug proof.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So, aroma and strength. Smell the bud in original packaging and bring the bud up to your nose and squeeze it.
Have you tried anything that you didn't like, Al? He's busy sniffing.
I'm busy sniffing, man.
Come on, at least make a sound. I'll do it for you, Al.
Okay. All right.
That's the snorting blow
All right.
sound.
Okay. Oh, I know what I did before. I rolled it on the paper. Okay. All right. Now, as far as this,
Are you enjoying
Silence.
it? Are you
The-
enjoying this crap, people?
The silence. It was amazing. You know, that was really a moment right there.
was it?
Yeah.
I got it's. Sorry. Yeah, I got.
All the
We were
dramatic
like hanging
pause.
on it. Like I could almost smell it.
I
It's
should have
coming
gone.
up-
I should have made it an effect like yuck or good or mmm.
No, that was fine. It's
No,
called a
you
dramatic
needed
pause.
like some kind of chime so it was mystical.
No. Well, you know what? Here, hold on.
This is the
Yeah, yeah.
music.
No. Where are we
Okay.
here? I usually have this pulled up, but I forgot to pull it up because as
Okay.
I was pulling it up, Sarah came in. So here, let me just 1 second here. I'll just
I gave it a 3.
Hey, what happened?
There we go. So what did you want, Paul?
No.
Okay.
Chimes.
Chimes. Oh,
Chimes.
I guess that works too. Not a gong, chimes, tinkly, dreamy.
Chimes.
A spring.
Chimes.
Okay.
I don't see. I see.
That was somehow appropriate. Should I run? Oh.
Okay. All right.
right.
Back to
You
the
ready now?
judging. Okay.
Okay.
Visual appeal.
Oh, you
Okay.
like that one.
There's more.
It's clean. Okay. There's no leaf anywhere.
No.
No stems slipping out.
That's not me making that noise.
Oh, there's a lot of laughs on here, man.
Yeah, it's green. It's green and purple.
Green and purple.
purple. It's good.
It's green and purple.
It's green and purple. It's got some trichones on it. All right, I'll give it a 4.
How was the nose? I've missed that part in some of the
3, but I'm thinking I might be revising that when I get to it. I did it first because of the opening of the pack.
I didn't find any of them were moist at all.
Really, eh?
No.
This one here.
That's because they want you to get high off it.
Does the bud maintain an imprint? It's not squishing.
How's your memory? How's your memory?
How's your memory?
So they're hard little nugs.
This one is. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Hold one up. Hold up one of them nugs.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
I gotta see the screen here.
So, Al, would your guess be that it's indoor?
Okay, I'm just gonna. There we go.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Can you
I would
see
say
it?
most of it would be indoor.
I'd say it's indoor. Oh yeah, yeah. I got the light on the right side tonight.
What are your thoughts on what's while you're doing that, Al? What are your thoughts on canopy growth? Oh, I should have asked Sarah that question.
Oh man.
Well, it's a big company that looks like it has really, yeah.
All I can think of is that the
Yeah.
guys who started the company, like if they really pulled in, what was it, $16 billion?
$19 billion.
$19 billion. So if you're the CEO or the guy who set up the swindle, your plan is to walk off with 10% of it and retire to some island in the South Pacific.
What I have to say to that motherfucker is, what about all the people that didn't have a lot of money that bought your fucking stocks? What do they do now?
Oh,
They're out
well,
with money.
A lot of people. What? Yeah,
all
They're out
legal.
with the money.
so that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I totally get it, but fuck, like it's a style of doing business.
They
you know?
bought no, but you see what they've done is they've bought up all of these huge companies, knocking them out of the market, killing any income from any of those stocks, and now they're going out of business.
I think it was designed.
Millions of dollars were poured into these companies by people who had a good feeling about the cannabis industry.
I think the crazy things, like, Health Canada does some shit that is just off the hook. Like, to get licensed, you got to build a facility before you even get licensed.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, I don't know how many places in BC. I went and looked at a place in BC. They spent $21 million building this facility. They never opened. They had to put the thing on the market, and they couldn't get $6 million for it.
I watched Truro start up. 5 years it took them before they could sell one bud. 5 years. And I watched it. Yeah. They were all on my show while they were trying to, Darcy and Marcel and Lenny. They were all right there. I watched the whole thing going on. And they're still Churo's doing okay. Lenny has Optimus now, which is his medical stuff, right? And I mean, I guess they're doing all right. I don't know.
I don't know how the companies do it. I mean, it's like the micros.
The smaller companies are doing all right.
The bud is really hard.
I wonder about that too. I mean, I'm in the midst of it, and I'm looking and I'm going, man, I don't know if I could make this investment work out in my mind properly the way it's being done.
Like I said, I am glad that I didn't open up a store. I looked at stores. I thought about taking a chance and buying a bar or a restaurant and slowly converting it into a lounge, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like I know some people that they had the opportunity to open a lounge or a store, and they just looked at things and said no.
So is that even on our horizon that we're going to have lounges?
Not legally.
I'm going to say never. I know that there are people.
I don't think legally out. Because in Ontario, anyways, no. Because of the Smoke-Free Ontario Act.
Is that what the Club Paradise, that place we went to in Toronto, is that still there?
That's old school.
Yeah, they're still there, but you have to know somebody to get in and know the secret knock, and they don't have stuff going on all the time. It's really just a social club, a private social club.
What I'm protecting. What's the word I'm looking for? Projecting is that if there's a lounge, it would be obviously because of the smoking laws. When it comes to smoking inside, that wouldn't be allowed. It'd be more about access to edibles and beverages, still allowing doing entertainment, so on and so forth. I'm hoping that there would be the opportunity for them to have licensed patios. So
Well, Abby fought for that.
That has happened.
Yeah, Abby fought for that down at the Hot Box in Kensington,
Right.
and she was. They deemed her able to, or they allowed her to have people consuming on the patio out back.
Correct.
But they had to stop consumption inside completely.
Correct.
And that, unfortunately,
Abby didn't allow smoking inside. She was only vaping inside.
Vaping. Yeah, she didn't allow smoking inside.
Yeah.
And then the comedy club also went through that. They weren't allowed to allow smoking.
They allowed smoking and stuff in the comedy club, but in order to, yet again, that's the legalization things. Things in order, if you want something that's close,
you want to keep your license,
legal,
you can't do that anymore.
No, but I think that eventually it's going to happen. So it's going to start somewhere.
Not on the scale of Gunjanistas or
correct. Not like the 20 that we used to have in the province back in 2013 and
Vapor Central.
2012.
There'll never be another Vapor
10
Central.
years ago.
Yeah,
10 years ago we had a pile of them.
Now it's Gunjanista Vapor Central. That is epic stuff there.
Yeah, there was. Well, I'm gonna put a plug in. Issue 34, Treating Yourself magazine, page 106. It's a review on the 9 lounges that were in Toronto, and it covers 17 pages, including access, ventilation, what's available, the entertainment, and where all the locations are, and what you can consume and what you cannot consume.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah.
We should see if Marco will come on the show.
Oh, he probably would.
Oh, well, you know him best.
Yeah, I know him best. Yeah. I can always give him a dingle. And actually,
Marco was always
that's where I met. That's the first time I met Sarah.
This is the first time you've met? Oh, at
no. The first time that I met Sarah was doing the Treating Yourself Cup.
First time I met Sarah, she was working at Com.
Everything off.
Yep.
Stuff. Yeah.
I've known Sarah since Com.
Shane King.
Shane King was very involved. Yeah. So was Tracy Curley and Amy Brown and all of those, that group of people way back when.
Al, elaborate on the Treating Yourself Cup. That's one I haven't heard of.
The Treating Yourself. The Treating Yourself Expo had the Treating Yourself Cup, and it ran in 2010 through to 2013. So it went for 4 years. And then on the 5th year, they had a cup that was done just at the Vape on the Lake Vapor Lounge that Marco owned. They didn't have an expo that year, and then that ended. So it basically you showed up at the expo on the Friday night or Saturday morning, and then you evaluated 21 strains. And you had to have your submissions in by Sunday at noon, so that everything could be tabulated for the award announcements.
I didn't get that back then. That was a little much back then. Like, how do you judge 21 strains in 2 days?
Yeah,
that's insane. Yeah. That's a lot of weed.
Yeah, and we didn't. We didn't have that. I don't recall having that. The questionnaire. Like we did a 2-hour broadcast on Saturday, and it took 3 hours just to do 3 strains. We went through each of the questions, and there was 3 of us involved in it. And so I don't remember that at that point whether there was a questionnaire. I know that there was questions as far as ourselves, but yeah, I'd have to I have to knock my memory on that one. Look back. So, but yeah, it was good.
What are you smoking, Al?
Right, which Al?
Both of yous.
I'm smoking orange.
Panama
orange.
and more Panama.
Okay.
All right. So where are we at? What do you think, Al?
I'm doing right now. I'm doing question 7. Does aroma translate to taste?
Huh? What?
And
Yeah. Does aroma? So does it taste like what it
I was just
smells
gonna
like?
do that. Does it taste what it smells like? So does it taste like
It does.
Yeah.
It does taste like what it smells like.
and it has flavor?
Yeah, which is I'll tell you the first the samples we did on the on the last show. Those 2 samples didn't have any smell.
Well, like I said, have you tried one that you didn't like? I had one strain that instantly gave me a headache.
Well, between the 5 strains I've tested, 2 of them have been clicked on the yes. The other 3 have had no's as far as what I buy them. How's
One
that?
of them I actually put in the comments gave me a headache.
Oh, did you? I haven't put any comments in anything. Headache, eh? That's not good.
I can't remember which one it was. I have to look.
So last show that we did this, it was commented that we were old school stoners and we were smoking the whole joint. We're supposed to get a couple puffs, right? Do you remember that? Do you remember that comment? Okay. Okay. Now,
I don't understand.
Well, what was suggested is we should only take a few puffs.
Well,
and then judge it at that point. Not
children.
Some people that I know, when judging samples from a cup, will not roll a joint. They'll smoke it in a clean pipe.
Okay.
Or a bomb. Right? Because you just need that one. You don't need to sit there and smoke the whole fucking joint, really.
Well, hang on here. There's a question. Does the taste last while smoking?
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, that's in question 7 for the does aroma translate to taste? Does the bud taste like the same as it smelled? Does the taste last while smoking?
Yeah,
Those
a lot of stuff kind of loses its flavor after you get 5 hits off it,
So I'll just smoke.
That's one of the things that annoys me about most of the weed that I've smoked that is LP weed is that there's no flavor. Zero.
You know what? I didn't find any of those strains had an overwhelming flavor. Like this shit tastes nice. You can smell it. Pretty much anybody comes and they can smell it. As soon as I open the door, it's like a cloud coming out the door.
We had one on Saturday during the show that tasted and smelled like soap, but I thought like a sweet soap, not a foul soap smell.
Huh. And did it make you want to smoke more or less of it?
Or did you want to take a bath?
Yeah. Good point, Al.
And actually, it wasn't a disgusting smell because of the sweetness to it, but it had been an old raggy smell. I would have said no thanks. But
yeah,
I can't recall which one it was and what we chose for, because what we did is we had 3 of us here, and all 3 of us could be seen on camera, and then whatever the vote was, if it was a 2-to-1 vote for picking number 4 as far as the answer to the question, then I clicked on number 4. If we all okay, if it was unanimous, we picked on that number, but it come down to whatever the majority ruled, that was the number I picked. And so my guest 420 Deb and Mr. Squishy 705 on Instagram were involved in it on the Saturday.
Does,
I can still taste it.
are your children, not your grandchildren, are your children partakers of cannabis, or they're just not their thing? I've never asked you that.
No, you've never asked me that. One,
Only one.
just one, correct?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like when I got busted for having some oil on me, I had half a jar of oil on me. I got busted for it. So they
You have a criminal record.
one of them got upset, but then no, it's gone now. We'll just edit that part out, but we're live, so it doesn't matter.
My sister partake. My sister doesn't partake. No, but my mom later in years was getting into my cookies and other edibles.
Yeah,
but she loves. Yeah, that's exactly. I come out at 6 o'clock in the morning. She's sitting in front of the TV laughing at fucking old movies, like quite literally.
I once came home. I went to my parents' house. I had a key, and I went in, and I walk in the door, and I look down, and there's a joint on the entryway tile, right? And I pick it up, and I go sit in my dad's chair, and I wait for my dad to get home. And he walks in, and I go, "Young man, you and I have to have a talk." And he's like, "I've been looking for that."
She used to call it that stuff. I hate that stuff. I hate when you're on that stuff. You look stupid when you're on that stuff. Not literally, but that's what she was getting at. But she called it that stuff. But I came home from from Vapor Central, and I was sitting there, and I had a dummy moment. I came in the parking lot, parked the car, and then I left. And then I realized I was coming in, not leaving. So I went and parked back again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is when Chris was managing the place. And he wouldn't let me leave. He wouldn't let me leave before we smoked the joint.
I got to do a shout out.
Okay.
I got to do a shout out to Miss Dabs and Gabs. I know that the audio doesn't always translate right over a phone, because I did listen back to Sunday's thing.
You see what I meant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but there it sounded
awesome.
Yeah, Gabs sounded really good, and when at one point, I know I won some doobs in the draws.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, and it says "Welcome to Fubar" on them, on the bottom there. But this one here is a sativa.
Yes, it is.
Diamond Rocket.
It says
pre-rolled
so right
joint.
there.
Huh?
It says so right there on it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's what it is. There you go. Look at that. Diamond Rockets. And
so it's got diamonds in it?
Yeah. 100 milligrams of THC diamonds mixed into 1 gram of premium flour.
That chat is actually our private
what brand
chat.
is that?
That is I'm going to say it's a home brand, or it's not a.
I would say a legacy brand.
I'm gonna say it's somebody's own thing that they put together as a package that they rolled up or something.
Why aren't they fantastic?
It's got stickers inside it too.
Cool.
Now I don't know. Maybe they bought them. I don't know anything behind them. I just know who donated them towards it, and that was mistabs and gabs. And this one here, this one's a hybrid. Okay, it says moon rocket on it.
I like
I love it.
Okay, and then it says on here,
What's one of
one
those
plus.
puppies cost?
I don't know. I won them.
You won them?
Yeah, I won these. It says 1 plus or minus grams of premium flour coated in full spectrum
plus or
cannabis
minus.
Yeah, I know, I like that. Coated in full spectrum cannabis oil and kiff.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Does it have a shatter snake down the center? Or
I
anything, or?
haven't opened them yet.
I-
I don't know.
That's kind of. I want to make like a crazy cannagar. I keep seeing these videos on YouTube of these guys making these cigars, and it's like 6 kinds of weed, and then it's rolled in a thin skin of shatter, and then it's rolled in keef, and then wrapped in cannabis leaves that are dried for rolling.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And they have a burn time. They're like, well, it's 4.5 hours.
Moon rockets.
Yeah.
And then they have moon rocks as well.
Yeah. I Remo supercharged joint.
Same thing.
It took us two of us 45 minutes to
Shatterizer has one as well.
Yeah.
Where do you get those?
At the OCS store.
At the OCS.
Really?
Yeah.
Remo supercharged?
Correct. Yeah. Check around in your stores, or next time I'm in Camelford, the guy at Spirit Leaf in Camelford, Eric there, he's a guy who, when I went in and said, hey, he says, no, I don't have those, but tell me a bit about them. So I told him about them, and I gave him a bit of a story about Remo, where Remo.
I should ask Tyler up here to do the same.
In the cannabis community, and he transitioned and is on the legal end of things, and so he shared that story with customers, and people bought them. And like I said, there's half a dozen boxes of joints he had sold. So I promoted it on the local Camelford Facebook page too, eh? So people
we used to have Uncle Dan come in, who did the moon rocks, and he used to come in to Gunjanistas all the time. So we used to go here, you just pass them around. Oh my god, like those are the original ones that you used to be able to get. And
so does the aroma, question 7, does the aroma translate taste? I gave it a 3. I'm gonna say probably at least 3/4 the way I could still taste it smoking it. I still got a bit of a taste on the palate on my
back
tongue.
end.
But,
what about the back end? Is it harsh? You were coughing.
I did some coughing, but right now I don't have the urge to cough. Now, did it burn evenly? Yeah. Did it require a relight? No. Does the joint burn your throat or make your lips or mouth tingle, tongue tingle? No. Did it make you cough? Yes. So
are you high as fuck?
That question's coming. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
That's not a good number, is it?
Well, I look at it as an average number.
Okay.
Ash in color and structure. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. So I give it a 4. Effects and experience. Question 10. Did the joint elicit any medicinal or recreational effects? So,
are you stoned out?
There's your question.
What a weird question.
Huh?
Like 2 different ends of the spectrum in one question.
Well, did you?
Yeah, I'm healed.
Yeah, did you feel a medicinal effect, or did you get really high off of it?
Yeah, I thought I was sane for a minute.
Oh no, I didn't get that. No.
Oh, well,
Now
there you go.
the second part asked,
So it didn't work.
Was the effects experience welcome or unwelcome? So I could see in that effect where somebody got too high, just like somebody came to a cannabis beverage or chocolates, ate too much chocolate and got really stoned and, wanted to go to the hospital.
There's it's funny that you bring that up, Al, because there's been an upflux of hypermesis syndrome, and they're so you saw that. I think I put it in our thing. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people are going, what's going on? They think they're pregnant or having the period or whatever. If you get too stoned, eat something.
Overall enjoyment.
Yeah. Actually, was it hypermemesis or something like that?
Yeah.
Basically, it's morning sickness.
People are getting sick when consuming too much cannabis, and one of the things to do is to get into a shower of hot water.
Eat.
Yeah.
Hold on to your bed for about 20 minutes. Have a nice nap. Get up. Have a shower. Eat something. You'll feel better.
You know what's fucked up is working at a cannabis company and not being able to consume enough cannabis.
Are you allowed to consume on your breaks?
No.
So you can't consume. You can consume in the morning and when you get home.
Not technically, no.
Okay.
When he gets home, because if he did before work, then they would say he was high going into work, and
you're not allowed to be high at work.
Right.
That's like a violation of WMSIS and all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah. No matter where you work, man.
You know what? They didn't even allow that in Jamaica. Now think about that. We're there. We're building this place, and then the CLA, the Canadian Legalization Authority, shows up the first day of the license, and they're like, and everybody who's working in construction has got a blunt hanging out of their mouth. Everybody, right? Like 30 people, right? And they're like, oh no, you can't do that anymore. This is fucking Jamaica we're talking about here.
Yeah. It's. I was one of the management representatives on the safety committee at work before I got sick. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah. That dube's done. It's over. I finished the judging and I got it submitted.
And what do you think overall? What's your call?
If I went into a store to buy buds, it'd be something that would be on the list, but it wouldn't be on the top of my list. I said I'd buy it again, but I would hope that there was a little bit more moisture in it next time.
I found them all very hard, and not.
They are hard.
Not. I mean, they were nice sized buds, but they were all very hard.
PRG. Does that sound familiar to either one of you?
PRG.
It's a growth hormone.
Yes.
I see some stuff like this mentioned online that apparently some people say it makes those buds rock hard like that.
They create it. Yeah, there's lots.
You know what? People say a lot of things and they're full of shit.
I grow organically. I don't add any. I don't spray anything.
You know what? What I know about legal cannabis companies, organic or not, is that they don't spend money on things they don't need because there's no fucking money in this, right? It's costing them to do this shit. And the fact that companies like Canopy that raised $16 billion screw it up so righteously. doesn't make it any easier for. I mean, people forget that it's an agricultural product. It's meant to be grown outside in the sun in large fields. You know.
I've just started using this.
What's that?
Floramax.
Cool. Who makes that?
Floramax. It's a company out. It's a company out of Australia. They've been on 420 radio show.
Oh, cool.
Marcel uses it as does Darcy. And they sent me their line to try, and I'm currently using the veg one.
Is
the
it
root
conventional
XS.
or organic?
It's all organic. It's all organic, and I'm using the Organi bud, and I'm feeding my plants. So
is it a living fertilizer?
I believe so.
Does it have a list of what's in it?
Yes, it's got cards and everything. If you Google Floramax, you'll
does it have an ingredients list on the side of the bottle?
Probably, but it's too small. I can't read it.
Oh,
I had to get 3 different people to tell me.
If you can't pronounce the words, it's one thing.
No, it's not a matter of pronouncing. I couldn't read it. It was too small.
No. But if you can read it, even if you can read it, if you can't pronounce the words, we know what it's not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the guys seem to swear by it.
Yeah,
so,
good. And
I'm
like I say, Marcel recommend uses
and Darcy.
And Darcy. So
Yep. I'm not sure if Dale's been using it. I think he uses other stuff, but everybody has their own go-to.
Correct.
We've had a few different nutrient companies on the 420.
Yeah.
Which is Friday.
By the way, I've used bottle nutrients. I've used dry nutrients.
Well, as I go, I'm hoping to try some devices and chemicals, and not chemicals, but I'm trying to stay organic. I'd rather use nothing, but
I always when I'm not growing in a living organics soil, then I'll go to a organic based product and use that. Something that at least came from it, something that I can read on the label.
But
it's not some word that starts with X and ends with a Y, and it's got 20 other letters in between it.
Do you make your own teas?
Yeah.
I saw it because when I was at BMA a few times, Ross showed me all the different teas and stuff that they had.
Yeah. I have my own menus and stuff like that. Some that I make up myself, and some that I got off my teacher, and that would be the Rev.
We should talk about Gary. I knew Gary Pallister a while. In fact, he was the first person to help me fill out my forms for MMRA, AR, one of them.
Hey, so how's that work now?
Hold on. I don't know what happened to you, Al. He passed away today or yesterday.
I don't know. Yeah, I
don't know any details.
I'm assuming it was today, just by the timing of the announcements that I saw from other people. Okay.
I've known him a long time, or I knew him a long time, but I haven't spoken to him. We had a falling out a while ago.
I met him originally at the Treating Yourself Expo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where I met him the first time.
I met him because
I would see him at rallies and events.
I met him because Mama Hawk introduced us.
Yeah, that's probably what same here.
Yeah.
Somewhere along that line. And
she must be in a bad place right now because they were very close.
Yeah. So Expo, Mama Hawk, somewhere at that time is when I met Gary.
Yeah.
And we always thought him was crazy Gary. He had his long coat on and long hair and the big hat and stuff. And then
He had ADHD bad like me.
yeah, and then to see the documentary and the work done
Him and
through him and Matt and Rob. And, I always, we heard about it and see the stuff online, but to see the documentary and see them, talking to all the people. And, I did this, I didn't teach people how to make oil, but standing in front of a crowd and people talking about cannabis is what a lot of the grassroots advocates did.
They were very open about it up there.
He was very open about it.
Rob invited people he did not know to come into his home and watch them make oil to teach them how to do it properly.
And
Sat there and
sharing, so many people wouldn't share the information. There were so many people that would prefer to profit off of it.
But yet you walk into Rob or Gary's home and they would hand you a jar of oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Always there to help people and help many people. And today, I watched the trailer of Mend and seeing the stuff that they were doing it's I encourage everybody to watch the movie. If you don't know who Gary was, or even if you know who Gary is, watch the movie.
You'll learn something.
Men with
you either loved Gary or you didn't like him. There was no middle. You either liked him or you loved him.
Yeah,
didn't love him, but he was an oil man in Canada who helped a hell of a lot of people without taking anything back.
Yeah,
so, there are a few
advocates, and what was
Dr. Sam.
He had a term.
Oh yeah, but Sam was involved in Mend as well.
Yeah. What was that term? I won't have enough time. We're going at 9 minutes.
I was living up there. I was in Durham when I met all of them, and I saw what they were trying to do. And literally, if you were sick or you just wanted to learn, they were right there. It still are, as far as I know.
Yeah, as far as I know too. I'm just.
And now I'm up here with nobody.
All by yourselves.
No. Oh, you just, just a little north.
I keep looking at Al here, and his background there is so white. I keep thinking it's snow.
Oh.
I look outside and sometimes it looks like there's snow on the ground. Like, what the fuck?
Scary, huh? Winter's not that far away. 16 weeks.
We're just getting buds now on trees and stuff, dude. Like summer is just started everywhere, but it's been going on for a month down south.
Yeah, it's going crazy here.
What you looking for, Al?
Didn't like that. I found it. I didn't like that.
And
I've pulled up the trailer.
Okay, go for it. It's a good way to.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I can get this to work right.
Sure, I'll do it. You've pulled it up. I can do it.
Did you?
Okay. Well, now you make the page full.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Come on. I've clicked on it.
Let's see how good Starlink really is.
It's not responding.
This is an ad for Starlink, by the way.
There you go.
Al's got Starlink?
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's broadcasting from space.
I'll tell you, I couldn't even. It was. It's much better than what I was using. I was using ExploreNet in the past, and I should just maybe exit the page.
Why don't you just give me the link and
I'll
I'll bring it up.
Page.
Give me the link in the private chat and I'll bring it up, Al.
Al, your picture's
right.
really good. Sometimes your audio does funky things, but
That's the lack of good bandwidth.
yeah. But his picture looks great.
Well, it just went funky there when I was trying to bring up the.
How long is it?
Every once in a while, you go totally alien lizard
We
person.
don't have, well, we only have 3 minutes.
Has that been all night, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
just
it
so I know.
only happens for
Coming out.
seconds.
Okay, here it comes. It's coming to our chat, man.
Bling.
Ba-ding.
Ba-ding.
What's that? Why does it say that? That must be the wrong link. What the fuck? How did that happen? Hang on here, man.
Oh, I ain't posting that guy.
No, you're not posting that. I go, what the fuck? Okay, that's the full documentary. Oh, that's the right button. Hang on. Why did that come up? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't
How
know.
do you-
Let's try that again.
How
There we
do
go.
you
There it
do
is. There it is.
that?
Ding.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
All right.
it.
Give me 1 second here. 2 minutes. So we're gonna say goodnight. We're gonna leave with the trailer for Mend. Rest in peace, Gary.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Gary.
Travel well, Gary.
Yep. Present. All right, we'll be here back in a couple of weeks. Next week's Coverage Radio, 7 p.m. right here on 420 Radio and CBGtv. All right, add to stream, and we'll say goodnight now. So say goodnight now.
Good night now.
I'm not the only one in the world that wakes up in the morning and the first sort of thought is, what's the least painful way to get out of bed?
Instead of screaming and throwing bricks at the wall, we just put every positive intent and action into meeting whatever need came along.
Patients helping patients. That's what it's all about. I call myself an actionist. People are dying. We can't wait anymore.
We are an outreach and a community group, and we're here for social change.
It's not about stoner culture. It's about shifting that paradigm from moving away from the idea of stoner culture into the medicinal and healing properties for which cannabis has been used for thousands of years. Cannabis is a community.
We're working with kids, young adults, seniors, horses, dogs. They're bringing their pets.
You want to know something? I bet you I can help you.
Hi, folks. I'm just Rob. I'm not the cannabis guru or Grey Bruce, right? Not every other name or label that you've given me. This is your healing journey. Once I've done what I can do, then it's your choice as to what you do with this information and how you use it. We start you gentle. You get a counselor. You'll work with them. They'll bring you up to a program. Once you're good, God love you. Go help your friends and neighbors.
If you'd have told me 30 years ago as I was, sparking up a joint, that we'd have a bunch of old ladies sitting in a public place learning how to make things with cannabis, I would have just laughed at you.
We're not dealers, we're healers, and we're not preachers, we're teachers.
It's not grannies hitting bongs.
I got introduced to a plant by two freaky hippies that look like Cheech and Chong. Got great big hugs, not asked for a bloody thing, and my life got changed.
My doctor says, I don't want to know what you're doing, but you don't even have to take an aspirin.
There's nothing wrong with me now. It was just awesome. It was the first time that the doctors looked at me and said, you're cancer free, right?
I was so afraid that I was going to get thrown back in the States because of what he was doing. But now I don't care. And it took the love of one little girl is where this all started, was with Angelina.
Angelina was perfectly healthy until she suffered her first seizure.
Okay, let's lie her down. Oh, Jesus.
It's heartbreaking. I got in contact with Gary, which then supplied me with a bottle of tincture, and we went seizure-free for about 45 days.
You can't control us now because we've spread the word.
It's not about the party high anymore. It's about truly being helpful.
Mother Earth's natural design.
Teaching folks that there's a better way than pharmaceutical drugs. Cannabis saves lives. Ripple, ripple.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out CBGtv.com. We are the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at CBGtv.com.